Hi there, welcome to Yoga Practice with me today. My name's Natalie. This class takes place mostly on the floor, which is great news if you're feeling tired or you're feeling like you need some nurturing. Hope that you find it healing. Let's begin by lying on the floor. Palms facing up and just breathing. Taking a big slow breath in, feel the belly rise. And a slow breath out. Tug the right knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers just below the kneecap and pull the thigh right into the chest. So squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. You're actually compressing your hip flexor here. Keep the knee in and then just lift your foot so that the foot is directly above your knee. And then maybe you'll hold on to your ankle or both hands to your foot. Half happy baby pose. And then I want you to pay attention to that left leg. So flex the ankle, press your calf into the floor. So you've got an active left leg. Keep pulling the right thigh down. And that knee is almost pulling into your armpit. And release. Just straighten your right leg. And letting go. Changing sides. Bring the left thigh in. Interlace your fingers below the knee. Pulling it in, so knee and thigh squeeze close to your chest. And then paying attention once more to that right leg, which is active. Can you bring the left thigh in a little more? Keep the knee in and just lift the foot up. Holding onto your ankle or whatever you can reach. Maybe the foot. Pulling the thigh down, the knee into the armpit. So back is lengthened, chin slightly tucked in. So really it's like you're in a lunge with an excellent straight spine. And release. Left leg down on the floor. Take a breath in, reaching your arms above your head. And then exhale, both knees into the chest. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Bring your knees towards your forehead. Breathing in and out. And then release the left leg long on the floor. Slip the hands to the back of the right thigh. So pull the right leg in, and you might reach the hands up higher. I don't want you to go to your maximum just yet. So I think that you're about 6 out of 10. To how much you can stretch. And you can either point or flex the left foot. Actually do both of them, maybe taking a circle one way then the other. And noticing the difference. What happens when you flex at the ankle? You probably feel the stretch move more to the calf. And pointing. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Slide your hands a little higher. And then pull the leg in and lie down. So now maybe you're at about 8 out of 10. So think about your flexibility as a process. So I don't wake up automatically in the splits and easily touching my toes. I find that I need time to hobble out of bed and warm up and eventually get the full range of motion. Let's go one more time. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders off the floor. You can reach your hands all the way to your foot, or this would be an excellent place to use a strap if you're finding the foot's just a little bit too far away because your legs are nice and long. And then pull the leg in, pull it in, and then recline. Leave your head and shoulders on the floor. Keep pulling the leg in. If you don't need a strap, just move it to the side. Now I want you to resist. So push your right leg away, push it forward, but with your arms, you're pulling the leg in. Pushing the right leg away, but pulling in with the arms. So the net effect is no movement. Breathing in, Breathing out, this is called PNF stretching, proprio-neuromuscular facilitation. What happens is that you're stretching the muscle while it's contracting, and it's going to give you a greater range of motion. Let's relax, so no longer resisting, and pull the leg in and just explore that increased range of motion that you've just given yourself. And release, leg down. Feeling the blood return back into that leg. Noticing the difference between the left and the right side. One more breath. Inhale, lift your left leg up in the air. So here, I can't reach my toe. I mean, I could force it, but I'm not warmed up yet. So I'm gonna go my hands to the back of the thigh. Inhale, lift the head and chest up off the floor. Maybe take the hands a little higher, pull the leg in, and lying down. Breathing in, breathing out. You're about a 6 out of 10 for your perceived effort of how far you can stretch. And let's point and flex the foot, circle. Keep breathing. And then lift the head and shoulders off the floor, slide the arms and hands a little higher, pull the leg in lying down, so you're about an 8 out of 10. How about that right leg? It's engaged. Flex the ankle. Getting in tune with the muscles in the body. So if you're in tune, you're able to exercise intelligently. You're less likely to cause injury to yourself if you know what's going on. You're practicing mindfully. All right, last time. Inhale, lift up. Go for the deepest stretch, whatever you can grip. Maybe hook the strap around the foot. And the reason why I like you to use a strap or hold onto your foot is because that's going to put your ankle in a state of flexion, which makes it a safer stretch for your hamstring, but also you're getting into the calf muscle. Now start to resist. So pushing the leg away and pulling the leg in with the arms. The arms are pulling in, left leg moving forward. You're breathing. The net effect is no movement. Remember to exhale. Keep pulling in and pushing away. And then relax. And when I mean relax, relaxing the arms as you pull the leg in as far as you can. And release. Palms facing up. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale, both knees to your chest. Rock yourself up to sitting. We're going to take a simple twist to the right. So take your right hand behind you, left elbow connecting to the outside of the right knee, looking over your right shoulder. And feel like you're wringing out the organs as you do this. You're breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, twisting around, twisting from the waist, the chest, the neck, the eyes. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, twisting the other way. Lengthening the spine on the inhalation. Twisting a little further on the out breath. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Let's just round the back. Bring the chin to the chest. Lean back. And then move your forehead towards your knees. So you're still rounding the back. Maybe taking the hands further down towards the shins. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, left leg out in front. Pull the right knee in and turn your knee out to the side. So the sole of the foot's touching your thigh Sit up tall, turn your chest to face directly over your left leg. Flex the ankle, you might want to use your strap. So we're stretching the hamstring still. So using that strap to minimize the roundedness. You might feel like, oh, it's really hard to reach the foot. Two things you can do. One is holding the strap. Second one, you could bend that leg a little bit, but I want you to think about lengthening the spine and then moving forward, 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 and just go to that point where you feel enough of a challenge. I'm going to take this a little further if you like. Take your left hand behind you and use that on the floor to push you forward. So it's pushing you forward. Reach your right arm to the outside of your leg or your foot, doesn't have to be your foot, and then pull yourself forward. I want you to feel this stretch in your quadratus lumborum, this lower back. Yes, of course, your hamstring, possibly the waist. I find this excellent for sore lower back. If you're really flexible and you've got more space, you could bind. Take both hands behind your foot, hold on to the right wrist with your left hand. So it's at the back of your feet. Release. Inhale, look up. Exhale. Letting go. Let's take a twist over the bent knee. So left hand on the knee, looking over your shoulder. Twisting, twisting. And then as you come back to the center, bring the right knee up to the ceiling. Move the right foot out to the side so that you could put one hand space between them. The foot's not there because otherwise the knee's going to roll out. I want the knee to stay up. So about one hand. Inhale, reach forward with the right arm, wrap it around your shin. Now, this might be where you take your strap and swing the strap around behind you and make a bind or holding your hands. So your right arm is around your shin, left arm reaching back, and then start to move forward. Move your chin over your left knee. Breathing in and breathing out. Right arm poppy. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, release. You're going to take that twist around your bent leg. So left arm around the right leg. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, twisting. Lift your left arm up in the air. Twist your chest some more. Bring your elbow on the outside of your knee. So we've still got the right leg bent. Looking over the shoulder. So you might stay here or have a go of taking a bind here. So in this case, you'll need to try and bring that knee up to the armpit. It's in pretty close. Turn the left thumb down, reach the arm back. So your arm's around your shin. And then if you can, you're having a go of finding the bind. If not, your hand remains on the floor. How about your left leg? It's active. You're flexing the left foot. You're sitting forward on your sitting bones. Turning your neck, so neck's included in the spinal twist. Breathing. And then releasing. Exhale, twisting the other way. Coming back to the center, grab hold of your right foot and pull it back behind you. Knees are stacked on top of each other. So it's sitting up tall. It's like half Gomukhasana, half head of the cow. and reaching forward. So we're getting into this left hamstring. Keep pulling your chest forward. So again, you could use a strap. And pay attention to just how the body's feeling in each pose. Do some of the poses make you want to run away? That's okay, just don't run away.
If you want to make this more challenging, put the block behind your foot and move your chin over the knee. Notice the progression. We've gone from something simple, lying on the floor, stretching the hamstrings with the hands at the back of the thigh, and now we're getting deeper and deeper.
Release, inhale, coming up. Exhale. So let's just roll onto the knees and make our way into down dog. Pressing the heels out, and notice the difference between the left and right side. Breathing in and breathing out, moving the heels away. Neck relaxed. One more breath. And then knees on the floor. Scoop the legs to one side, stretch your right leg out in front so your left leg's bent, sitting up tall. So you're making like an L, the letter L, capital one. Turn your chest to face over your right leg. Breathing in, reaching up. You could have your strap in hand if you like. Breathing out, reaching forward, looping the strap around your foot. So remember those little tips of bending the knees. Sometimes people go, I can't touch my toe. And I'm like, you can if you bend your knees enough. So make it possible for yourself. Inhale, lift up. Letting go of your strap. You're going to take your right hand behind you. You could use the strap in one hand if you like. Take the left arm across either to the leg or the outside of your right foot. Reaching forward. Getting into that lower back as well as the right hamstring. Or binding, if you did so before, the right hand holds onto the left wrist behind your foot. So this process of elongating, surrendering, effort, the balance between the two. Inhale to lift up. Exhale. Let's take a twist over the left knee, right hand to the knee, looking behind you. Make sure both your buttocks are anchored on the floor. So resist. I know you can twist further if you lift the hip, but keep the buttocks down. And as you look forward, bring your left knee up and move your foot a little bit out to the side so you can fit one palm between your foot and your thigh. Pull the heel in close, sitting up tall. Right hand supports you, left arm lengthens, thumb down as you reach forward. Wrap your arm around your shin. So if you feel like you've got dinosaur arms suddenly, it could be because your elbow's sort of stuck at the shin. So coming forward as much as possible. Looping a strap behind you if you need. Or binding, and then start to activate your right leg. Move your chest forward over your knee. Breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And this was one of those poses for me for many years. I do it and I'm like, I don't know why, I'm sort of stuck here. Nothing hurts, doesn't feel like anything's limiting me, but I just can't go forward. And it was just the process of repeating the practice, And then one day you're like, oh, I can do that. I can bring my head to my shin. Let's inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Enjoy the transition. Take a twist. Right arm wraps over your left leg, looking behind you. And if you want to go a little further, you're going to lift the right arm up so that you sit more forward. So those sitting bones are those hard bones that after a while of sitting on your buttocks, you're like, oh, feels like you're sitting on rocks. So you want to sit forward on them. Twist some more. Right thumb down, so that knee is up near the armpit. Reach back. See if you can go for the bind. And don't forget about this right leg. Looking over your left shoulder. So twists are excellent, we know, for the spine, but also for your organs of digestion, elimination. Twists can heal a multitude of back pains. Let's release, exhale, untwist. Coming forward, rolling onto your knees. Hands at the top of the mat and into down dog. Oh, I know there's one more thing that I've got to do. We'll come back there. Knees to the floor. Just take the legs to one side. We'll have the right leg out in front. And pull your left foot back. So knees are stacked on top. Sitting up tall. And then if you've got your strap in hand, you can use that. Reaching forward. So you're encouraging those knees to be kissing each other. With the weight of your torso on your thigh, it's going to increase the hamstring stretch. Maybe you're feeling it in your hips. So whatever you tried on one side, give it a go on the other. And you might find that each side is different. Deep breathing. Lots of ankle flexion with the right foot. Inhale to lift up and exhale, release. Making your way into down dog, hands at the top of the mat. So it's like a reset pose. Lift your right leg high up in the air, bend the leg, open your hip. Oh, I had a few little cracks. Let's circle that knee, the right knee around. Let's go clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Place your right foot between your hands. Or left knee on the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, lift your chest up. Take your hands to the hips or the waist and push your hips forward. Then come out of the pose. So I want you to know the difference between in a deep lunge and being out of the lunge. If it's not comfortable for your knee, you could just roll over the edge of your mat or get a towel and put it under the knee. So let's come out of the lunge and going back into the lunge. Left hand down to the floor. Reach your right arm back. Maybe have a go finding your foot. So here's a great place to use a strap. I'd come out of the pose and make a little loop around the foot. And then once you've got a grip, you could pull the strap in. This is also a great way to advance the pose if you're working on bringing both hands overhead towards your foot. So choose an option and stay for 5 breaths. Count your own breathing. So you know you're stretching your left quadricep, but did you know that you're also using your core muscles to stop you from falling over? To balance. Also a back bend, hip flexor being stretched. Let's stay for 2. One more. Slowly release. Wah. Straighten your leg. You can move that strap out of the way. Sitting on the buttocks. So actually, let's try this. Roll to your right side and grab hold of the foot and bring the heel into the buttocks. Just resting your head on your arm. And release. Roll onto your back, knees into your chest. Rock yourself up to sitting and into down dog. Left leg lifted high up in the air, bend the leg, open your hip. You're still trying to earth this right heel down. Let's make some circles. Right knee going clockwise and anti-clockwise. Left foot, let's take it between the hands. Right knee on the floor. Breathing. Remember that little tip, if you need some more padding, just grab yourself a cushion, an extra towel, or fold the edge of your mat over. And then lifting up, bringing your hands to your your thigh. And then coming out of the pose so that you know the difference, and then coming back into the lunge. Let's take the hands to the hips, hold the lunge, lifting the chest. And then a right hand to the floor. Let's reach the left arm back, grabbing hold of your right foot. So it's opposite hand to foot, or use your strap. So in Iyengar yoga, it's very common to use props like bolsters, straps, blocks for every pose. And I really think it's just a great way to safely practice and make every pose suitable for you. So let's bend more through the front leg, push the hips forward. If you're taking the strap over your shoulder, have a go of that. Reaching one or both hands, and then find the stability of your body. You're working the hands down closer towards the foot. So one day your foot will touch your head. Breathe. And just think, you're actually born being able to do this kind of stuff. I'm sure in the womb you were able to put your foot on your head, so why not again as we're older? Let's stay almost done. One more breath. And release. Start to straighten the left leg. Move your strap out of the way. Sitting on your buttocks. And then we're going to roll to the side. Roll to the left side. You can use your arm as a cushion, grabbing hold of your foot. So you're still stretching into that right quadricep. And releasing, lying on your back. All right, lift your right leg up in the air. Here's another time to use your strap. Take your left hand onto your thigh. Lift the leg up high, and you're going to take your right leg all the way out to the right. So you've got some external rotation of the femur bone, the long bone at the right hip joint. That means it's turning outwards. And then so that you don't roll off to the side, turn your head to look to the left. Anchor the left buttocks. And this hand is on the thigh to remind you to have that left calf muscle anchored to the floor. Can you flex your left foot some more? So your whole back is on the floor, your shoulders are on the floor, your head is turning to the left. So of course you can do this also with a little bend in the knee, that's okay too. So focus on the integrity of your spine, that's straight. So this is very similar to a standing pose that we might do. Let's bring the leg back to the center. Might do it another time. Change hands, same leg, left hand. So if you've got the strap, left hand to the strap. Take your leg over to the opposite side. Take your right leg over to the left. See if you can keep the shoulders on the floor. Looking over the right hand, which is perpendicular from your body. And roll into a twist here. So you can have your hips stacked one on top of the other. I might go this way. So if we were to have an aerial photograph here, you just see the right hip. Inhale, come back to the center. And then exhale, release. Inhale, left leg up. Hook your strap around your foot or holding onto your toe with your left hand. So it's a pistol grip around the big toe. Right hand on your thigh. Activate your right leg. So what do I mean by that? Every time I say activate, it means you're contracting the muscles. Pressing the calf down. Then taking your leg out to the left, turning your head to look to the right. Right hand is to remind you to keep the buttocks on the floor. Remember, you're not rolling off to the side. And so what if your leg's here and it's a bit bent? That's good, you're still doing the pose. One more breath. External rotation of the hip. Inhale, back to the center. Change hands, it's the same leg. You're just having the right hand to your toe or to your strap. Take the left leg all the way over to the right side. Turn your head to look left. Be in that twist, even if that means you got a little knee bend. Your back is in one plane. So your back's on the floor, eye gaze to your left thumb. Mindfully coming out on the in-breath. So the inhalation is when you brace yourself. And then exhale, release. Palms facing up. Both knees into your chest. Full happy baby pose. So pull the knees in first, then lift the feet above your knees. Reach down, grab hold of your ankles or your feet. So the idea is that those knees are moving towards your armpits. You can have a little rock from side to side. Then take your hands to your inner thighs and straighten your legs. Your whole back is on the floor. Once more, rocking from side to side. You're stretching the inner thigh, the adductors. If you like, you could take the hands to the calf muscle or to your toes, but keep your back on the floor. I like the hands on the calf muscle because it enables me to use the weight of my arms to push the legs wide. Now bend your legs, take your hands to where your knees are, the inner knees. And then straighten your arms. Let the feet and the hips move away. And then have a rock from side to side. So you're using the arms to push the knees wide. Then taking your hands to your ankles, feet together, rock yourself up to sitting and folding forward over your toes. So you might prefer keeping the hands behind you to elongate the spine. So if I just have the intention of bringing my head towards my feet, I might look like that. But I want you to have the intention of moving your chest towards your feet. And then closing your eyes, experiencing that posture, one breath at a time. Your femurs are rolling back and down. So these long bones are moving backwards and downwards. Hold for 3 slow breaths. Relax something. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, knees closed. Grab hold of your block. And you could choose a height. You could have it on this flat level, or like this, or like this. I'm going to have it on this medium level, but I'm just going to use 2. So we're stretching into the back. So place the block at your thoracic spine. So that's the upper part of your back. So a good way to think of it is to align your nipples when you're lying down, in the middle of the block. Taking your arms overhead. So just choose a height that enables your head to be on the floor. So one of the common mistakes people make is to have the block too low, but place the lower part of the block where your bra strap is. So the mid part of the block is where your nipples, so up a little bit higher, I think now, yeah. And even take it lower, take the block lower. So I don't want you to be working hard here, I want you to be able to relax. So that it is quite conceivable that you could fall asleep here. With your arms overhead, you're going to be opening up through the pectoral muscles. So we're just counterbalancing that forward fold. Use your arms to lift your head back to neutral. Come all the way up, move the block out of the way. Just lying Supta Baddha Konasana, feet touching, soles of the feet together. Breathing. And then knees together. Lift your legs up in the air, we're almost done. Wrap your right thigh over your left thigh and bend your legs. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor. See if you can reach down and grab hold of your feet or your ankles or your shins. And then lying back down. So we are getting into the glutes. With the right leg over the left leg, you're going to feel this first in the right side. And then rather than keeping the feet down near the buttocks, see if you can lift the feet up and pull them down into your chest. That's going to give you a greater stretch. And then check those knees, they're aligned, they're on top of each other. So it's a supine, a lying down version of Gomukhasana, this forward folding one. So that's how your legs are looking. Using your biceps strength to pull the legs in a little closer. And then releasing. Uncross your legs, recross the other way. Your left thigh over the right. Bend both legs. Reach up and grab hold of your feet or your ankles. And pull the feet in. So now the stretch, you should be feeling that in your left glute. If you can, keep moving the feet up higher towards the chest. So this is a nice alternative lying down. It's a nice alternative to this one, because in this one your back might be quite rounded. Whereas lying on the floor, you get completely supported by the earth beneath. So your posture's better. So knees are stacked on top of each other. Use your arm strength to pull the feet in a little closer. And then release. Let the blood flow back into the legs. Palms up. Just breathing. Feeling your life force, your chi, your kundalini, whatever you want to call it. Just your blood flowing freely around your body. Maybe you've unblocked some chakras. We'll finish with a final twist. So let's bend the left leg, cross the right leg over the top, and take both knees over to the right. Arms wide, looking to the left. The weight of those legs in the twist is amplifying the stretch. On your inhalation, so brace yourself, come out of the pose. Exhale, uncross, recross, left thigh over the right, bring the knees into your chest, take both knees to the left, and then turn your head to the right. Not pushing or forcing. Let gravity take hold. Sometimes gravity is your friend. Making the pose a little deeper with every breath. Feeling not only in the back, but maybe in the glutes, the waist. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, release. Palms facing up. Shavasana. Finding your rest. I've been practicing with two friends today who choose to remain anonymous. So just finding complete stillness. Come back to the awareness on your breathing. And it's such a funny thing to say because you don't have to be conscious of your breathing and you'll just breathe. And if your body doesn't think you're doing a good enough of breathing, it will knock you out and cause you to faint and take over. But do you breathe effectively? And that's what the awareness of the breath is doing. You're coming back to being aware of the belly rising as you inhale And as you exhale, the intercostal muscles pulling in, the diaphragm lifting to expel that last bit of air. So your normal breath is called a tidal volume, and if you think of it as a wave of a certain height, amplitude. But your full lung capacity has a height and depth and amplitude much greater. So when you're doing this conscious breathing, you're tapping into that full lung capacity. So I encourage you to continue staying mindfully in Shavasana, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.